Thinking Aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist Jeffrey Mishlove.
One of the groups who's really put this together, I think, really beautifully, has a 92% hit rate over the last 25 predictions. Now, that's rather incredible.
And I'm assuming it's not balanced out by a different group that has a 92% miss rate.
No, not balanced in that way.
Yeah.
Again, the average is above chance,
Right.
but they're not all at 92. I gave you the best, let's be clear on that. But I did that because the odds against chance of that group, who overall, since the beginning, they're at about the 73% level overall, the odds against that are 1 out of 1,500.
Yeah.
We don't have 1,500 groups.
Okay.
Okay, so there's clearly something going on here, and people are using this. They are wagering. That group does nothing but sports events. We have other groups that do financials.
But let me ask you this, because I used to participate in some of your projects going back, probably 10 years ago, before you developed this most recent protocol. And even way back then, the overall hit rate seemed to be about 60%, as I recall.
That's right. Some of the groups and overall was about 60%. Group hit rates are still roughly 60%, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Again, one of the things we want to do and will continue to do is to bring in new people. It takes a while for them to get adjusted. Some of them, we get beginner's luck, but not all.
Well, the research originally reported that we discussed in our first interview in this 3-part series, the work done at SRI International, they were at nearly 100% in their hit rates. So, of course, you're doing many, many more trials than they did, and you're working probably with more unselected people than they did, but you're not attaining the dramatic levels of hits that they reported.
And that's true. And what they called hits, again, was in the remote viewing world, not ARV.
Yeah. So
there was enough similarity to the target that they called it a hit.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to quarrel with that. I've discussed that with Russ Targ, and we don't know what happened. He actually, and I don't remember the fine details, but there were a disagreement about him as a judge with someone, and he says after that things turned a little more sour. And maybe again it's all psychological. And
well, the chemistry of the people working with each other is very important, and I think it's quite important that you've stuck to it for so long.
And I think the long term, I think the long term part of this is key. They maybe did very well in this one, and then they took a break, and we encourage our people to take breaks when they feel like it, and others. But frankly, we do not understand. They had very good early successes, and we have not been able to match that, but here's a case where we did. And we had a whole webinar where he explained his approach. And he does do it different than a lot of the other group managers. He spends an extraordinary amount of time on it, which is maybe what they did at SRI.
In other words, each of your groups has its own manager.
Group manager, and the group manager brings in viewers.
And they have a lot of latitude in terms of the methodology and the approach that they take.
Complete.